Around the same time Ifunanya returned, another child came home. Chibundu. He arrived with dust on his slippers and stale alcohol in his sweat. Nduka had sent him to a private polytechnic with borrowed money. But he'd been kicked out in his second year. Exam malpractice, the letter said. Bad attitude, the dean had warned. Chibundu didn't explain. He just dropped his bag beside the bench and asked what was for lunch. At first, Nduka made excuses. It's just a phase. Boys stumble. But that phase grew close. By the third week, Chibundu was seen behind the compound with a girl whose mother sold pepper. By the fourth, he was spotted at the palm wine joint, laughing too loud and asking for credit. By the sixth, he had stolen Uzomoko's money for school registration. He returned home with a bottle of beer and cigar in his mouth. You are useless. Chioma had shouted. You had everything. But Nduka only muttered, he's a boy. Let him be. At 25, Chibundu had no job, no plan, and 3 girls in the village pregnant. One brought her father. Another sent a letter. The third sat by the mango tree every evening, staring at his window, waiting for a promise he never made. Still, when people asked, Nduka would proudly say, that's my son, the one that will carry my name. But while Chibundu drank and smoked under the mango tree, the girls were building. Nkiru's tailoring picked up. She stopped patching old clothes and started sewing Sunday wear. Her hands moved like they remembered the future. She named the small shed she built Chimamanda Styles. Ifunanya returned with a hardness in her eyes but light in her fingers. She wrote all night, ink staining her hands, pain leaking into every sentence. She titled her manuscript, The Girl Who Was Sent Away. She sent it off with Oninya's help. 6 months later, it was accepted. 2 years later, it won a national prize. Odobi passed her teacher's exam and started teaching in the next village. She would walk 2 hours every morning and return dusty, but her eyes sparkled with joy. I teach girls to speak up. I tell them to take space. Uzomoko, quiet and steady, completed her nursing certification. She came home in a white uniform, her hair wrapped neatly. I'll open a clinic here, she said. For those who can't pay. And Onyinye, the one who won a STEM scholarship after a village school science fair. She built her project with broomsticks.